This week we swap the plane for the train as we travel back from Paris Gare du Nord station to London St Pancras International through the Channel Tunnel with Eurostar. I'm booked into Eurostar Plus and I'll show you everything you get in 2025. Well, bonjour and bienvenue to Gare du Nord station in central Paris. Today, travelling, I nearly said flying then, it's a force of habit on this channel, but today not flying, travelling on the Eurostar in Eurostar Plus back to London St Pancras International. Now, I've just landed in, as you very well know, unless you haven't seen the video, then you won't know, from Chicago O'Hare with Air France in premium economy, so if you haven't seen that, a link will appear up top. I highly recommend you watch that video, but today you're with me to London St Pancras in Eurostar Plus with Eurostar. After landing into Paris Charles de Gaulle, my arrivals experience couldn't have been easier. I was straight through security, across to the train station within the airport terminal, and a ride into Gare du Nord station took me just 45 minutes at a cost of €15. Very reasonable and very efficient. I really can't knock the French on this one. Opened in 1864 and steeped in a century and a half of Parisian rail history, Gare du Nord has grown from a grand terminus of the steam era into one of Europe's busiest transport hubs. And as you step through the main entrance today, you'll find a maze of modern shops, cafes and 3 bustling departure halls. But we're headed to Hall 2, which is where all UK Eurostar departures leave from. So before we head through security, let's talk the costs. The base fare in Eurostar Standard set me back £65 one way, and after booking I was offered an upgrade to Eurostar Plus for the price of £60, which I accepted. I then entered my advanced passenger information, the same as if I was taking a flight, and my boarding pass was issued to my mobile phone. Back in Gare du Nord, and I have no idea what happened to this particular Eurostar train, but I was upstairs in Hall 2 waiting to get through security, where the average wait time was over 45 minutes. Not a great first impression, I must admit, and surely there's always a more efficient way of getting passengers through security. Oh, and just a gentle reminder that war relics and shells are not allowed on board any Eurostar services. The fact this sign had to be made left me a little unnerved, I'm not going to lie. That aside though, once you've gone through the airport style security and customs checks, you'll be in the Eurostar departure hall. There's a few shops like L'Occitane and Relay if you need to grab a few bits for your journey, and a downstairs and upstairs waiting room too. So all through security, now sat in the confines of the sort of pre-departure area, and it's got a couple of eateries here. You've got a Paul, you've got a wonderful place selling really nice French eclairs. There's an Alain Ducasse chocolate shop, and then this place at the back where I am now, gone for a lemon meringue tart and a bottle of Evian water. You know, no one can accuse me of not supporting the French brands. So, security, let's talk about that. The actual process of going through security, absolutely painless, really, really simple, really easy. The queuing to get into security, on the other hand, was absolutely crazy. About a 45-minute wait to get in, 45-minute queue. No special access for Standard Plus or Eurostar Plus as it's called, only priority access for Business Premier, which is their highest tiered category ticket on board, a bit like first class. Standard Plus is the standard seat, but you get the elevated product on board, so you get it's a bit more space and the meal included. And then this standard, just the usual economy ticket. So can relax now, through, ready to go. Got about 45 minutes to an hour to wait, and then we'll be on that departure across the London St Pancras, and I'll show you what you get in 2025 in Standard Plus aboard Eurostar. After recording that piece, I received a text to inform me that my Eurostar departure would be delayed by roughly 30 minutes, due to Gare du Nord being extremely busy. Not great, but I can't knock the communication from Eurostar, as I received a very timely email prior to departure. After waiting it out for a further 30 minutes, it was time to board the train. Now there's 2 boarding points within the departure area, A and B, and depending on which coach you're sat in depends on which boarding area you head to. We're in coach 16 today, so we're boarding from Zone A. I must admit Eurostar have got this cabin right. It's a really calming environment and a great first impression. Our seat today is number 74, a pair of two, with ample overhead luggage storage, big enough for my metal case, a leather pillowed headrest, and fabric upholstered seat. There's a drop-down tray table big enough to house my laptop, and great legroom with a drop-down footrest too. Plug sockets, both UK and EU, as well as USB-A charging points are on hand, as well as these lights and little cup holders. I really like little design features like this. There's hooks in front of the seat, and coat hooks to the right of the chair too, as well as this drop-down phone shelf and vanity mirror.
All aboard this 12:09 departure back to London St Pancras, running a little bit late, just about 5 minutes before boarding. We got a text to say this train's going to be going about 20 odd minutes late due to the overcrowding here at Gare du Nord, which would make sense considering the mammoth queue that I studied earlier for about 45-50 minutes. But all aboard, I'm whispering because you could hear a pin drop in this coach. It reminds me of the old quiet coaches we used to have, which seems to be a thing of the past now. But it's really nice, comfortable seats, plenty of legroom. So looking forward to kicking back and relaxing and getting this journey back to London St Pancras started.
A little bit of work done and it was time to go. I did find the state of the French rails rather amusing though. Nothing says sustainable like dumping your plastic catering seals onto the tracks. About 45 minutes behind schedule, we eventually departed Gare du Nord, and I must admit, I was really comfortable on board. And as we zigzagged our way heading north out of central Paris towards Lille, it wasn't long before we were into the confines of the French countryside, and well on our way to the Channel Tunnel. 45 minutes into the journey, a menu appeared, and today's options were a choice of 2 cold dishes alongside a complimentary bar service. I opted for the flaked trout dish, and props to Eurostar for providing full-sized metal cutlery. I do like details like this. I opted for a Nomad IPA beer, which is brewed exclusively for Eurostar, and yes, pouring it on a moving train is a lot harder than it looks. I also had a still water. On the food front, the starter was this whole wheat roll served with President butter, the best in the world and I won't be told otherwise. Then the flaked trout main served with an organic lentil, red cabbage, apple and celery salad and a rather generous portion of this creamy Dijon mustard sauce. This was sensationally good. And to finish, a sweet treat of Café Tassé noisette chocolate. There's no denying I was a happy boy, and to top it all off, a tea and coffee service followed shortly afterwards. And yes, it's French coffee, of course.
So our light lunch has been served. We've all cleared that away now, and very good it was, actually, quite surprisingly good. Just literally about to head into the Channel Tunnel in the next few minutes. So I'll show you that as it happens.
After around half an hour gliding underneath the channel, we resurfaced back in England, and this gave me the perfect time to reflect on the experience. Eurostar Plus is a tale of two halves. The pre-departure experience, with its long security queues and slow progress, certainly didn't set the best tone for the journey, but once on board, everything changed. A calm, quiet environment, genuinely friendly service, exceptionally good food, and a seat that was far more comfortable than I'd expected. It's not a product I'd actively choose over flying, but if you can snag it at the right price, it becomes a real contender, especially when flight fares start creeping up. As we arrive into London St Pancras International in the heart of the capital of England, I hope you've enjoyed this brief look into Eurostar Plus. Thanks ever so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Now feels like the perfect moment to ask, if you're enjoying the adventures so far, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and come along for the ride with a growing community of fellow travellers.